Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Goeiemorgen. I think we'll need to tighten this and make it a little back. Yeah, if you can slide this back. Yeah. Okay, that's right. We have more space today in the temple. Everyone else has either already departed or they're just getting up after... How late did it go last night? Anyone know? Till between 11 and 12. Yeah. Who was there until the end? All glories to the hardcore kirtaniyas. So I thought, I think we'll need a little adjustment. It's got a ring to it. In the spirit of kirtan, I thought we could sing this very sweet song of Srila Bhaktivinoda-Dāsa, Narada Muni, Bajay, Vina. Let's see, where did Raman Prabhu go? He disappeared. Who knows how to play an ektal beat on Mridanga? Bajay. Oh, yes, please. We have Mridangas. You can choose your Mridanga. Oh. Okay, here we go. Let's try this. Well, hold on here. Okay. Narada Muni Bajay rādhikā-raman nāme nārada Bajay Narada Muni Bajay Vina rādhikā-raman nāme. Maybe someone else can play the parto. It's a little... Sometimes you're getting it, sometimes you're not getting it. Can someone play this beat with the parto? Yes. Narada Muni Bajay Vina rādhikā-raman nāme nāma amani udita bhakata-gītā-sāme bhakata-gītā-sāme Narada Muni Bajay Vina rādhikā-raman nāme amiya-dhārā varase gana shravana yugale giya amiya-dhārā varase gana shravana yugale giya bhakata-jane sadane nache bodhiya apana haya bodhiya Narada Muni Bajay Vina Ramana nāme Feel free to sing louder. Mādhurī-pūra aśravabhashi mataya jagata-jane mādhurī-pūra aśravabhashi mataya jagata-jane Kehova kande Kehova nache Kehomate mane mane Kehova nache Kehomate mane mane Narada Muni everyone Bajay Vina rādhikā-raman Narada Muni Bajay Vina rādhikā-raman pañca-vadana nārade hori prema-sukhe ro pañca-vadana nārada hori prema-sukhe ro kamalasana nachiya bole bolo bolo hari bolo kamalasana nachiya bole bolo bolo hari bolo Narada everyone Narada Muni Bajay Sahasrana parama-sukhe Hari Hari Boli Gaya Sahasrana parama-sukhe Hari Hari Boli Gaya nāma-prabhāve Matilo Vishva nāma-rasa Shabe haya Everyone Narada Muni Bajay, Narada Muni Bajay, Shri Krishna nāma-rasa pūrā'lo amana asa Shri-Krishna rasa pūrā'lo amana asa śrī-rūpa-pade jacchaye iha bhaktivinoda-dāsa Narada Muni Bajay Vina rādhikā-raman nāme Narada Muni Bajay Vina rādhikā-raman. Again, Narada Muni Bajay and once more, Narada Muni Bajay. The translation is here. When the great soul, Narada Muni, plays his Vina, the holy name rādhikā-raman descends and immediately appears amidst the kirtan of the Lord's devotees. Like a monsoon cloud, the holy name showers nectar in their ears. All the devotees, due to great ecstasy, repeatedly dance to their heart's content. All the people of the universe become maddened upon entering this intoxicating shower of nectar. Some people cry, some dance, and others become fully intoxicated within their minds. Lord Shiva, embracing Narada Muni, repeatedly makes loud screams of ecstatic joy, and Lord Brahma, dancing very ecstatically, says, "All of you kindly chant, Hari Bol, Hari Bol." What does Lord Brahma say? In great happiness, the thousand-faced Anantashesha chants, by the influence of the transcendental vibration of the holy name, the whole universe becomes ecstatically maddened, and everyone tastes the mellows of the holy name. Thakura Bhaktivinoda, the humble servant of the Lord, says, "The holy name of Krishna has fulfilled all my desires by vibrating on everyone's tongue." Bhaktivinoda therefore prays at the feet of Sri Rupa Goswami that the chanting of Harinam may continue like this always. Shri Harinam Prabhu ki jai, Narada Muni ki jai, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura ki jai. So now we can proceed to reading Bhagavatam, because that's a good thing to do in the morning. Could we take the harmonium and Nama Om Vishnu-padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivinoda-dāsa iti namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. He Krishna karuna sindhu dinabandhu jagatpate gopesha gopikakanta radhikā-raman namaskate Tapta-kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu-sute Devi Pranamami Hari. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This morning we're reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, called Pure Devotional Service, and this will be verse number 17. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 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 Narayanam Namaskritya. Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Preshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Ayur Harati Vaipumsam Ayur Harati Vaipumsam Udyanastam Chayannasam Udyanastam Chayannasam Tasyarte Yakshano Nita Tasyarte Yakshano Nita Uttama Shloka Vartaya Uttama Shloka Vartaya. Please chant. Others can lead.
Ayur Harati Vaipumsam
Ayur Harati Vaipumsam
Udyanastam Chayannasam
Udyanastam Chayannasam
Tasyarte Yakshanonita
Tasyarte Yakshanonita
Uttama Shloka Vartaya
Uttama Shloka Vartaya.
Ayur Harati Vaipumsam
Ayur Harati Vaipumsam
Udyanastam
udyamastam chayanasau,
tasyate yakshanonita,
tasyate yakshanonita,
uttama-shloka-vartaya,
uttama-shloka-vartaya,
ayurharati vaipumsam,
ayurharati vaipumsam,
udyan ashtam chayan asau,
udyamastam chayanasau,
tasyate yakshanonita,
tasyate yakshanonita,
uttama-shloka-vartaya,
uttama-shloka-vartaya. Any gents want to chant?
Ayurharati vaipumsam,
Ayurharati vaipumsam,
udyan astam chayan asau,
udyamastam chayanasau,
tasyate yakshanonita,
tasyate yakshanonita,
uttama-shloka-vartaya,
uttama-shloka-vartaya. Yeah, he wants to chant. He's practicing. Yes, Bob.
Ayurharati vaipumsam,
Ayurharati vaipumsam,
udyan astam chayanasau,
udyamastam chayanasau,
tasyate yakshanonita,
tasyate yakshanonita,
uttama-shloka-vartaya.
uttama-shloka-vartaya. So, first of all, who is speaking this verse? This is Shonaka. Shonaka Rishi is speaking on behalf of the assembled Vaishnavas who have come together to hear Sutta Goswami at a place in present-day India called Naimisharanya. And Sutta Goswami has spoken for some time, but then he stopped speaking and basically was suggesting that I've answered your questions, which the sages had asked. Those are given in the first canto. And I've answered your questions, so I'm done. And Shonaka became worried. Perhaps all of the assembled devotees became worried that, oh, maybe he's going to really stop and leave us. So then, what to do? So Shonaka speaks to him, please keep seeking. There's so much more, and we know what you have heard. We know that you were present when Shukadeva Goswami was speaking with Maharaj Parikshit. We know you heard this, and we know that this discussion went on for 7 days and 7 nights, non-stop. Bhagavat Saptaha, the original Bhagavat Saptaha. So please speak some more. And as part of this verse comes in his words to persuade Shukadeva to continue. So what does he say? We'll just read the translation and part of the purport. Both by rising and by setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. This is a famous verse. And Srila Prabhupada explains in this purport some quite interesting phrases and statements I found. This verse indirectly confirms the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotional service. Acceleration of devotional service. We may be doing devotional service at a certain speed. Some of us maybe are going slower, some of us may be going faster. When we are driving a car, right? We push the pedal down to accelerate. Time. This is an English expression. Time and tide wait for no man. Have you heard this before? Yeah. Time and tide wait for no man. Sounds like Shakespeare, but I don't know. So what? The time indicated by the sunrise and the sunset will be uselessly wasted if such time is not properly utilized for realizing identification of spiritual values. Prabhupada speaks in a very interesting way. What should we be doing with our time? Shri Radha Gopinata Ki Jai. What should we be doing with our time? We should be realizing identification of spiritual values. Even a fraction of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Hare Krishna. Welcome.
Thank you.
We're just reading a very famous verse. Ayur-harati pumsam udyanastan-chayana, so the rising and setting of the sun. So Prabhupada is saying, even a fraction of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Human life is simply awarded to a living entity, a jiva, so that he can realize his spiritual identity and his permanent source of happiness. Permanent source of happiness. Would you like to find the permanent source of happiness? Yes. No? Yes. Yes. Okay. A living being, especially the human being, is seeking happiness. Because happiness is the natural situation of the living entity. Now that's interesting. Generally we think happiness is something you have to strive for, you have to endeavor for it by accomplishing so many things and by getting so many things, right? And by becoming so many things. But here Prabhupada says no. It is our natural position. But what's the problem? He is vainly seeking happiness in the material atmosphere. You know this word vainly? Vain, vanity, vainly. Vainly means it's not going to work. A living being is constitutionally a spiritual spark of the complete whole, and his happiness can be perfectly perceived in spiritual activities. Perfectly perceived in spiritual activity. So, everyone agreed we want happiness? Yes? So, do you want to perceive happiness? So how are you going to perceive it? Again, a living being is constitutionally a spiritual spark of the complete whole, and his happiness can be perfectly perceived in spiritual activities. Exactly. The Lord is the complete spirit whole, and his name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, and personality are all identical with him. You know this word entourage? It's a French word, isn't it? Is it masculine or feminine? La entourage or le? Le entourage. Oui? L'entourage. Oh, of course. L'entourage. So all of these, what are these things that are identical with the Lord? I'll give you a hint. The name, form, qualities, pastimes, entourage, le entourage, and one more. Personality. Oh, you cheated. You haven't done. Okay, they're all identical with him. Once a person. Actually, I was just reading. This will interest you, Mars. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakura says that the name. No, sorry. Bhaktivinoda-Dāsa says in his Jagata-jane, the name and the svarupa of the Lord are non-different. But then he says there is a difference. And what is the difference? The difference is the name is more merciful. And then he says the name does not take offense, or it forgives offense. And then I thought, oh, but he wrote a whole book about the offenses chanting with him. We can come back to that if you like. Once a person comes into contact with any one of the above-mentioned energies of the Lord through the proper channel of devotional service, the door to perfection is immediately opened. In the Bhagavad-gītā, chapter 2, verse 40, the Lord has explained such contact in the following words. Quote, endeavors in devotional service are never baffled. You know this word baffled? They're never frustrated. Nor is there failure. A slight beginning of such activities is sufficient even to deliver a person from the great ocean of material fear. Unquote. As a highly potent drug injected intravenously acts at once on the whole body, the transcendental topics of the Lord injected through the ear of the pure devotee of the Lord can act very efficiently. Aural realization of the transcendental messages implies total realization. That's interesting. Oral realization implies total realization. Just as fructification of one part of a tree implies fructification of all other parts. You know the word fructification. It means having fruit. So if part of a tree, if the apples start growing on one part of the tree, you can expect there are going to be apples on the other side of the tree. Right? This realization for a moment in the association of pure devotees like Shukadeva Goswami prepares one's complete life for eternity. That's a long time. This realization for a moment in the association of pure devotees like who? Like Shukadeva Goswami, prepares one's complete life for eternity. Does that sound like a good idea? Worth doing? And thus the sun fails to rob the pure devotee of his duration of life, in as much as he is constantly busy in the devotional service of the Lord, purifying his existence. Death is a symptom of the material infection of the eternal living being. What is death? A symptom of the material infection of the eternal living being. It's amazing how little we absorb, isn't it? Only due to material infection is the eternal living entity subjected to the law of birth, death, yes. There's more to this purport, but there's plenty here for us to digest and reflect on. And I thought this is a nice way of concluding our festival, which has been, we might want to say, an access point into the constant festival which is going on in the spiritual world. And so in that respect, we may want to say that there's no end to this festival. It's still going on as we speak. And we want to access that eternal festival. Now we all have experience. We all have experienced udyan astan chayan asau, of the sun rising and setting. And when the sun rises, we are happy, oh, another day. And when the sun is setting, okay, well, that day's gone. When we are younger, we have a different perception of time than when we are older. When we are younger, one day can seem like quite a long time. We may be busy all day playing, and our mother or father calls us for dinner, and we ignore the call because we're so absorbed in playing. And yes, the darkness comes, but we look forward to the next day. And in this way, our lives pass. And as Prahlad Maharaj says, 20 years of your life are wasted in playing. 20 years of your life are wasted in getting old. 50% of your lives, 50% of our lives, he says 50%, is wasted in sleep. Okay, maybe not. Maybe we don't sleep 12 hours a day, but still. So much is in Shastras giving us a sense of urgency. Now, when we get to be my age, I won't tell you how old I am. We're going into the sun is going down, let's put it that way. And we start seeing that whereas some years before, 1 year passing was, oh, the year passed so quickly. And I always find it difficult to learn to change the date, to write 2024, because I'm still getting used to writing 2022. But now the time is coming when I'm realizing that 10 years have gone so fast. I visit some temple and they say, oh, so nice you have come again after 10 years. What? Was it 10 years ago? So there's actually, isn't it, a kind of acceleration that's going on. You who are younger, you won't feel this, but those of us who are a few years older, isn't it? We start to feel, when the sun comes up, it seems to be going, dizzyingly fast. So this is our situation. But Shonaka Rishi is saying, Tasya Rite, there's an exception. And this exception is what we experience. This is what we engage in when we come together and celebrate the glorification of the Lord in His holy name. I thought that as our sort of closing, the close of the festival, I guess, officially happened last night, didn't it? I wasn't there for it, but a sort of, how to say, now we're looking back perhaps on this festival. And I thought what we could do, one thing we could do, we'll see how it goes, is see what we remember from what our teachers have been teaching us in the last 3 days. Beginning with the very fiery, electric performance, not just lecture, but performance of Srimati Achyuta Gopi, how she prepared us all for the event. Do you remember?
Yes.
Yeah. Does anyone want to tell us what you took from her presentation? What we say like that nowadays. What is the takeaway? It sounds so, I don't know, so like consumer oriented. But anyone want to share what? Yes, yes.
So by performing such kirtans, we are still part of that Sankirtan, Yagya Sankirtan movement of Lord Chaitanya.
By recording?
No, by performing.
By performing, oh, okay. We are part of?
Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement.
Yes. Do you remember? She was describing the Khetri-gram festival of the devotees. I've been to Khetri-gram. It's in present-day Bangladesh. And you go there, there's nothing there. There's a little village and a lot of fields, and there's a little mound where they say Narada used to sit and chant japa. And there's some kind of ruins and some little temple, not much of anything. But what happened in Khetri-gram is, as we heard, so amazing. And when did that happen? It happened some 50 years after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu departed. 50 years, imagine 50 years after Srila Prabhupada departed, for example. And this was the first time that there was a Gaur Purnima festival. So imagine that we would not have any Gaur Purnima festival, we would not have Janmashtami, we would not have Srila Prabhupada Vyasa Puja for the first 50 years after Prabhupada departed. And then they thought, actually, we should have a festival. And so Narottam Das Thakur inspired this amazing festival. Anyone else? Something? A takeaway from her presentation? Yes.
Actually, I was not here, but working, but I was following it online, and she was singing this bhajan of
Yes.
Yeah, it was so soul touching for me because I was not here, but she sang it like so soulfully. So it was soul touching. Yeah.
And then, do you remember? She repeated, Edana yogana putra parijana iteki yache parotite kamala dalat jala jivana talamala bajahun haripada nitire. And she repeated several times, kamala dalat jala jivana talamala, kamala dalat jala jivana talamala. Kala jala jivana talamala, kamala jivana talamala. What does that mean?
Our life is just like a drop on the leaf.
Yes. Kamala means lotus. Dala means leaf. Jala, jal, means water. Jivana talamala. Jivana, our life, is like this drop of water, which is any moment it's going to drop. I just heard yesterday from, was it you, Madhu, who told me? No, it was Vishnu who told me that our God brother Maharama-Prabhu has departed the world, and that he departed in the midst of kirtan. I don't know how long ago this was, but kirtan was going on, and I guess there was stoppage of the heart, and that was it. That's the way to go, isn't it? Okay. Now, I have another question for you. And this may be a little bit embarrassing for some of you, considering the fact that His Holiness Sachinandan Swami is present. Now we're going to ask, what do you remember from his lecture, day before yesterday morning? Yes. Is there a microphone? Yes. Yeah.
The empty pill and the...
Everyone remembers the empty pill and the full. And what was the point?
Where Krishna is present in the holy name or not. So when we chant, if we're not like chanting with attentively, like with devotion, and if Krishna is not present, it's like the empty pill. It doesn't work.
Do you agree, Maharaj? Was this your point? Okay. Very good. You get a passing grade. Anyone else? Any memory? Yes.
I think I remember the acronym ISHA. I for intention, and S for sincerity, and A for attention. When we chant, we should have that intention that we should connect with Krishna, and we should have the sincerity. And then, of course, we need to have our full attention. We should be present while we are chanting, hear what we chant. And, that increases.
Yes, we should hear when we chant Om Namah Shivaya.
The Hare Krishna mantra. The holy.
Very good. You agree? This was very good. Now, what about His Holiness Chandramali Swami's talk yesterday? Who was here? Yes.
His I remember he insisted on the Kirtan, and Sankirtan festival is the most the preferred way of preaching than giving lectures. I think this is what I perceive.
From his lecture, you got that it's better to do Harinam Sankirtan than to give lectures.
Because I'm from Paris temple, and there we do lots of lectures, and we do Harinam, but very less Harinam than we do lots of book distribution. I think it's the style of Jananda Maharaj, and but we realized recently after the December marathon that lots of people took books, but very less people turn up in the temple.
Right.
And there is some missing link we don't understand. They don't read or they don't perceive. And then when I heard Maharaj saying that people are, even during the period of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, people were less intelligent to understand the Shastras, the Bhagavad-gītā, and now he said that time has, with the degradation, now we are even less intelligent and very difficult to perceive all the jnana, and so it's more easy for people to hear the Sankirtan, the holy name, and prasadam also.
Yes.
The two things.
Very good. And one other point which Maharaj made toward the end of his talk, he said, compassion is the basis of our society. You remember that? Compassion is the basis of our society. Srila Prabhupada one time was speaking with some students at University of California in Berkeley, where I went to university. These were all students from India. And Srila Prabhupada challenged them. He said, you have come here to study technology. That means you are beggars. He said very bluntly, you are all beggars. Beggar? What do you mean? Yes, you are coming begging for technology. And then he said, I am not a beggar. I am a giver. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada was coming to give Krishna consciousness. So he was making this contrast between those who were coming to the West to get something to bring, and himself who was giving something. Not just something, but giving Krishna. But I was thinking about this, and in relation to myself, and perhaps in relation to all of us, we are beggars in relation to Srila Prabhupada, what he is giving, and it is not for us to remain beggars, but for us to then become givers on behalf of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and all of the acharyas. And so I think this festival is a confirmation of the continuity of this process. I sometimes like to say that, as we understand, when we receive Krishna consciousness from Guru, tasmat Guru prapadyeta, tasmat Guru prapadyeta, jigyaso krittama, that we receive this from the Guru, and that makes us debtors. Now, usually when you have a debt, you do some endeavor to get whatever it is, money usually, and then you pay it back to the person you have borrowed from. But our process is a little different. We're not exactly paying back because we can never pay back our debt. We're always going to be in debt. But what we do, there's an expression to pay it forward. You know this expression? To pay it forward. We have a debt, instead of paying back, we pay it forward. What does that mean? We take what we have received and we give it. We give to others. We share. We extend out. And in this way, what happens, those who receive from us, they become indebted. And the indebtedness expands. It's the original pyramid system. It's the original pyramid business scheme. The primordial business scheme, coming from Lord Brahma. So that's what we're following. And as we're celebrating this together, all of us chanting, we heard the verse that Satchidananda Swami read. The word mita came 3 times, and paraspara came once, both meaning mutual, that this is a mutual process, it's a constant exchange. And I was thinking how this exchange is going on in our society over time, not just limited within the time span of our own lives, but extending back and extending forward. And one way we can appreciate this is to remember some of the prominent kirtaniyas in our society, in our tradition. So going back first to Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Narottam is famous for his music, for his style. Mukunda Datta, famous for his singing, and we heard about them. And then coming forward in time, Srila Bhaktivinoda-Thakur, and then Srila Prabhupada, who was appreciated by his godbrothers very much for his very nice singing voice. He was noted by his godbrothers. Swami Maharaj, he has such nice singing, isn't it? Have you heard recordings of Prabhupada singing? Yes. Yeah? It's really very special, isn't it? It goes right to the heart, isn't it? And we can continue moving forward. I was remembering Vishnu-Jan Swami. Some of you may know, have heard Vishnu-Jan Swami, yes? He used to wake up before all the other brahmacharis, and he would take shower and then he would sing for all the brahmacharis as they woke up. He would play. And then at night, he would sing lullaby. He would sing kirtan softly as they would go to sleep. That was Vishnu-Jan Swami. And then there's Srimati Yamuna Devi. Every morning, in the deity greeting, whose voice do we hear? Govindam Adipurusham Tamam Bhajami. Govindam Adipurusham. Whose voice is that singing? That's Yamuna Devi. That is, and then Srila Prabhupada, when he heard that recording, what did he say? Make that played every time when the deities are, when there's deity greeting, right? So that's quite radical for our tradition, because a female voice and everyone in the temple and the deities, yes. And then I was remembering, actually, a few weeks ago I was in Argentina, Buenos Aires, and I was fortunate to meet again His Holiness Bhaktivinoda-Dāsa Swami, and we were a little bit remembering old times. And I was remembering when we first heard a recording from Achyutananda Swami. He was singing such authentic Bengali style. We thought, oh, right? This is the thing. This is how we... It was very exciting. Hansadutta Prabhu, his singing was very, wasn't it? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Very inspiring. And then, I mean, there are so many kirtaniyas. And I was remembering also, he's still with us in Mayapur, our godbrother Murari Hari. He's also a real kirtaniya. And then I think you will all be familiar with Indra Prabhu. Indra Prabhu is quite amazing, as I'm sure you know, but if you want to appreciate him more, from, of course, hearing his kirtans, but I do recommend his biography by Kalachandji Prabhu. It goes very deep. It's really very wonderful to appreciate him as a person and his mood of dedication, his fierce dedication to chanting the holy name in the association of devotees in the society which Srila Prabhupada established. Fiercely dedicated, wonderfully dedicated. Other kirtaniyas, we've had so many kirtaniyas with us in this festival. And of course, all of us are kirtaniyas, and this is really what such a festival, I think, is meant to inspire us to appreciate. That we are all having this facility, we are being invited to engage mutually in this process of kirtan, in every day and every moment. Hare Krishna.
Please excuse me.
No,
please carry on.
Yes, no, that's quite alright. Yes. Other duties call. So I should end here gradually to say, coming back to Shonaka's point, Shonaka Rishi, he's making this interesting exception. He's showing that there's an exception to a rule. The rule is that the sun coming up and going down is measuring our lives, but it's reducing our lives. It's a way of saying that the time, the duration, the ayu of our life. We've heard of Ayurveda. Ayurveda is the knowledge about duration of life, literally. So this is being harati, it's being removed by the sun, in effect. Krishna also says, kalosmi loka kshaya-krit pravidho, lokam samahartamiha pravidha. He's saying, I come as time intentionally to remove everyone's life, in effect. But there's an exception, tasya rite, yakshananita uttama shloka vartaya, by means of engaging in the varta, the stories of uttama shloka, even for a moment, yakshana, even for a moment, then the whole system we actually upturn that system of the ending of life, and life becomes eternal. Becomes eternal for us, and it can become eternal for anyone who connects with the devotees, and therefore we engage seriously as both beggars and givers. What are we begging and what are we giving? Okay, begging for mercy and giving mercy. And that is based on a feeling of what? Gratitude and indebtedness. And from the hint here is Chandramali Swami saying compassion, which is the basis of our society. Hare Krishna. Grantharaj Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Radhadesh Mellows 2024 ki jai, Gaur Premanande. Thank you all very much, and I wish you all a wonderful remainder of today and safe travels back to your homes or blissful stay here in Radhadesh. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Kshetra Swami ki jai.